And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja Welldone coming at you live on this beautiful Sunday, April the 26th at 9:52 in the morning. How are you doing? So here's the thing. I hate when people are stupid with statistics. And here's what I'm getting at. Just hear me out. This is what I'm saying. With all this corona crap going on, everybody's giving so much praise and happiness and stuff like that the statistics are going down. But here's the problem. It's only something worth... Sorry about all the distractions. I'm in my car. I don't have anywhere to go. Everywhere's closed. But anyway, it's only worth bragging about, okay, if the numbers of this corona thing are going down while people are still with people, okay? You're taking two different comparisons like everyone's an idiot, which I'm not I don't like. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Don't say the numbers are coming down when you're comparing two different things. Of course the numbers are going to be lower when nobody is touching each other and having contact compared to when people are. How dumb of a comparison. That's like saying more people statistically pose a threat to drowning if they have a pool in their backyard compared to those that don't. No shit. Of course. How dumb do you have to be? But even worse, how dumber do you have to be to believe it? Okay? It's just like this whole disinfectant thing that the president said. I didn't really even hear all of what happened, but honestly, I'm not saying it's a good thing that people are drinking it, but kinda. I'm being honest with you. I kind of think it's not such a bad thing that people are actually drinking disinfectant. Here's the reason why. Dumb people are going to be dumb. And that's just basically it. I almost had to clear my throat. That was the reason for the pause for a second. And scratch my nose, apparently. But anyway, so dumb people are going to be dumb regardless. Regardless of who the president is, it's really dumb that you would even blame a president, even though what he said was not good at all. If it came from Barack, if it came from Donald, if it came from anybody else, I wouldn't drink disinfectant. You're dumb as shit. What are you thinking about? That's crazy. If the president of the United States, if it was Donald and you voted for him, or Barack and you voted, or you didn't, or whatever the case, said that he thinks that firing shotgun rounds into your mouth would be the best aid for anti-cavity protection against your teeth, do you really think people would start shooting themselves in the face? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say yes, because I think the majority of everybody that actually is believing, that basically believes other people believe before their own instincts, they're helpless. That's what it comes down to. They're absolutely helpless. There's nothing you can do. Just on my damn, underneath my nose, it's itching crazy. So, I had to get that out. You know, it just doesn't make any sense, any of this thing that's going on. Gas prices are at all-time low, which is great, okay? But if you don't have anywhere to go, that's like saying I'm giving you a Lamborghini. Here's the keys to a Lamborghini. Only problem is Lamborghini is underneath ground. It's sealed off in a concrete bunker, and you won't ever have access to it. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. The only way to compare something that doesn't make sense is to compare something else that doesn't make any sense. Just like saying the numbers are reducing now that people aren't having contact. No shit. If you want to brag about something, if you find a cure, God hope, okay, for this whole corona thing, all right, start talking about the numbers are coming down based off of the cure or vaccination or whatever. Don't treat everyone, myself included, okay, by saying that the numbers are coming down because... No, the numbers aren't coming down. These are two different tests that you're running. You can't compare them. Doesn't make any damn sense. I've said enough about it, okay? Shit. Now, with that being mentioned, I did just recently... Changing topic. See that? I'm taking my hand, I'm pushing the topic. The topic goes off camera, and I'm continuing. I recently saw a couple shit films during this pandemic era. And they were doing that whole thing. It was Terminator and the new Halloween. Okay. And they basically did this thing for both films equally where they killed out. They basically started the whole series over, not from the beginning, but from the second one, which doesn't make any sense because it's like you're supposed to completely just disregard all the prior films that have happened before that, and it picks up, and all that was just empty space, like nothing happened before then. It's really weird. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that was last video. But moving on, I saw Adam Sandler's new film called Uncut Gems. I gotta be honest with you. You know how sometimes there will be something you're looking forward to? It'll be like a shitty meal, and you're just hoping the dessert will knock it out of this world or something like that, you know? Or you're watching, in this case, a shitty film, and it just kept watching it and investing minutes after minutes. Here's something I don't, I'm a big proponent against: having my money and my minutes, my hours, moments wasted, okay, for anything. That's an actual investment. One is a life investment, okay, which are your minutes and moments and everything like that compiled together. You have enough minutes, you got hours to days, months, years, etc., okay? And there's a financial investment. And sometimes those go two together. What I'm getting at is, I felt like I was robbed 90 minutes from the new Halloween, and another 90 minutes that I'm not going to get back, okay, from the most recent Terminator. Both pieced up boxes of shit in motion. I'd hate to say it like that, but they were awful. Absolutely awful. If you know what I'm talking about, you can agree. If you haven't seen it, don't. I'm doing you a favor. You should almost be paying me. I should put a PayPal with this video, and you should give me $5, because $5 is worth more than 90 minutes of your life. And that's a few hours worth right there. 90 minutes twice. I'm going to give you a freebie. Tell you what, you don't have to pay me, and I'll even tell you what not to watch. I recently saw Uncut Gems. Hate to say it, Adam Sandler did this horrible thing where he has this really stupid ending. And I say, the film was absolutely horrible. You kept trying to get it going and get it going and get it going. And just finally, when you thought you made it worth it, when everything turns around, the guy that has been completely having bad scenario after bad scenario, and it doesn't get any awfuler. It's like watching a train wreck, but another train from another side. It's like if a train wrecked and then another train from another track came across getting ready to wreck it. I'm gonna keep watching. Yep, I am. I'm gonna do it. Okay, not saying that I'm really gonna enjoy it, but I'm gonna watch it. Okay, just like a car crash. You see two cars crashing, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it. Okay. So the thing is it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And at the very last moment, when everything starts turning around, he did this Hollywood thing, and I'm not going to give it a spoiler alert, where directly after it was finally worth that 90-minute investment that you have given, okay, it completely turned around instantaneously within 6 seconds to absolute shit again. And he did this really Hollywood thing where you try to have like a poetic ending by having it be dumb as shit. Tell you what, when they had plays and theaters and stuff like that a few hundred years ago, without internet and television and kites, fucking baseball stuff I don't even care about, okay, they almost always had horrible endings. Maybe because everything was already pretty crappy. That's a very good possibility. But it's 2020, okay? People don't have to drive to work when they can work from home. If you're already working from home, it doesn't make any sense, because all these buildings built, and I'm bringing it back to Uncut Gems. That was the name of the film that he was in, okay? Because all these buildings and infrastructures weren't built when the internet existed. Okay, it costs less money for people to stay home than to pay rent to be a business owner, unless you're doing a physical service. You don't have to be in a job. So maybe this whole thing will change for the better, so that everyone won't have to drive into work. Less traffic, less parking, more money for the employers, because they're not paying for rent for a building. And even if they get to pocket it, the employees get to benefit from that, from not having to spend gas money to drive to work. But anyway, Uncut Gems. Moving on, guys. What I was saying is, they used to do this really shitty thing in Hollywood, and maybe it started with 100 years ago's worth of shit endings of plays and theaters and crap like that, where it has a really crappy ending. It's like they want you to be emotionally invested and learn something from basically having a film have a horrible ending as though the film itself is actually taking a shit on you. I'm sorry for the profanity, okay? But here's the thing. It was so awful leading up to that great moment, and then directly after that moment, it completely squashed and didn't make it worth it all, because something happened dynamically to where that investment of your minutes or your money, if you paid for it, or if you just, whatever the case, maybe it was for free, somehow, maybe you're watching with a friend or something and they paid, regardless, it turned it around and it had a horrible ass ending. Okay? Directly after it was great, it sucked 99%, 99.1%, oh, it was worth it, and then 99.2 absolute shit show directly after that, and then it wraps up and it's the end. It's like Hollywood wants you to feel more emotional, but like I said, by giving like a crap ending to make you contemplate about all these serious affairs. Look, everyone likes a happy ending. Okay? No one ever said, I don't want to win the lottery. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. Let me bring it down a little. Okay? I will do you a solid. I'll do you 2 solids. Okay, just one. I'll just do one for now. If you do want to watch a good film, and this is not a critic film review, but I'm not doing much else. Okay? If you want to watch a great film, okay? And I'll give you another recommendation, the next one. I can give you 2 now, but I'm giving you 1. It's the new Invisible Man. Listen, there's something about whether it's comedy or a film, regardless, when something has a constant tempo and it doesn't have like interesting parts, like, you know how someone says, oh, that was my favorite part. Invisible Man, I'm telling you right now, the most recent one that just came out, is amazing. It's basically about this abusive husband that's beating up his wife, girlfriend, whatever, okay? It's his significant other. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but basically somehow, some way, he learned how to kind of be invisible, all right? And he's a super psycho, and somehow, some way, fakes that he was killed, and everyone believes he is, so that he can basically go back and harass, stalk, and make her life absolutely awful in every aspect, and just completely do everything bad to her, and it is awesome. And then, of course, she comes back, and it's this whole dynamic. The point is, from the beginning, middle, to the very conclusion of the film, it's constant tempo. You're on the edge of your seat. It's great. And guess what? The ending, out of this world, phenomenal. It's the kind of thing where you want to stand up and just clap your hands and say, bravo. Watch The Invisible Man. I'll tell you what. Watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, and then directly after that, watch The Invisible Man. I'd hate to say it, because Adam's a cool guy, you know? But this was not cool. It really wasn't. It had so much potential. If it would have just kept together and not had that shitty ass ending, that everything was perfect. It was all worth it. And then that one thing happened and it sucked. The one thing that you've been wanting to happen, that changed instantly. So it's like you have hope, and you have more hope, and at the very end, your hope was worth it. And then they take that hope and they pull the rug out from underneath your feet, lift you up by your ankles, shake out all the change. Okay? And, just rob you, basically, of your minutes and of your money. 2 things that I value the most, and in that order, minutes and money. I'm not saying the most as in like above all, but in general, don't waste my minutes, don't waste my money. Okay? I'm not some power-hungry guy or nothing like that. But don't waste my minutes and don't waste my money. Guys, I love you. I'm coming out strong, okay? I've been quarantined as long as everybody else, and it's not really a significant talking point because everyone else is doing it. So I'm not going to talk about that, but I will tell you how shitty films there are. And I could keep talking about films, but I'm not going to do that because I want everybody else to have a good day. And just remember, I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm not emotional. This is just me, you know? And when I do comedy, it's like if you had tea on a kettle and you started to pull back that steam, the steam's always in me, okay? I'm just opening it up, just letting some of that steam out, you know? And the second that I'm done, the steam keeps building up. And when I get on stage and I got that microphone, it's awesome. I let it all out, and it not all out, it's not ever all out. But it's just so great getting on stage, and I love it, and I'm really, really looking forward to doing that, and so much more. So I hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day. Hopefully I kept you interested. You know, it's more important, kind of like in a similar way to comedy. It's more important, okay? You don't always necessarily always have to be funny in comedy, but you always have to be interesting. That is a very famous rule, and I'm not going to say who it's by. Not because it's not important, just because not doing it. There's no reason, you know? Sometimes there's a reason to do something, sometimes there's not. I'm just choosing not to. And here's another free one. As far as comedy goes, and it applies to video as well, such as this. So the thing, and this is something that I'm really focusing hard on, not hard, but strong on, with a lot of strength, right? Is, as far as my comedy goes, specifically, and it applies to other things, but specifically comedy, you know, the thing that separates good from great to excellent, which is the only thing that I'm moving towards and for, excellent comedy, is the content. Anybody can make anybody laugh. Consistency, it's not important, okay? It's a null factor. It's easy. It's not a big deal. Anybody can do it. But separating the content and having it be such above level, amazing, interesting information that is hilarious on top of that when you leave, it's like you'll be informed. You'll have a lot of those like kind of like favorite parts, but with me, just like the films, constant tempo, keeping that thing up, and then maybe there's a lull to hit hard, and then boom, drop down the hammer on another punchline. So and in this period, my comedy content, the quality of figuring out and separating what is the most, not really just obscure, but interesting too, and combining that with humor, is what separates my content from others. And that's not like an arrogant thing to say. I'm being honest, because when I'm telling some of my new stuff, and I've been saying it at like gas stations and grocery store, anywhere I can really go right now, everybody's laughing, and they're like, "That's crazy, that's true." And I say, "Yeah, that's true." So that's what I'm going to be having. I'm going to be having people leaving and being remembered the most, because anybody's stories can be similar, but with what degree that I'm separating it is exponential, because of how outlandish the information that I'm saying, and the crazier part is that it's true, and that's how it gets memorable, and that's how I separate myself from the others. So with that being mentioned, hope everybody has a beautiful day. I try to make these things about 10 minutes, but there isn't necessarily a minute cap on it, so to speak. I hope I've invested my 18 minutes and 38 seconds in a better way for your life. Hope everybody has a beautiful day. You can check me out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, everything at Benja, Benja, Welldone, Welldone. Check me out. Doing comedy to a venue near you very soon, but not soon enough. Peace.